Is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. MedLab in Smith Road Plaza, your complete medical laboratory solution. Call 949-7331. West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health. And RF Group, money at work.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Coming to you live from Radio Cayman Studio.
For the record.
For the record. For the record. Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the record.
For the record. For the record.
Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is January the 10th, 2022, right here in the Cayman Islands. I hope and I trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable weekend. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, whether you be a pedestrian, whether you be a cyclist, or if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle on the roads, we again urge you to please, please, please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road, because at the end of the day, the life you save may just be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday, or if you have celebrated one over the past few days, a belated happy birthday to you as well. For those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to express our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing as well. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility, we wish you a speedy recovery as well. So folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy and sometimes dangerous roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. You may know that For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. The radio voice of Mr. Paul Akal with 6 Silver Fox waiting to take your calls this morning. You can call us on our toll-free number provided courtesy of Flow. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. Email us at fortherecord, one word, fortherecord@candw.ky. WhatsApp us, 925-3261, where you can send us a text message or leave us a voice note, the contents of which will be played during the course of the show. And of course, you can follow us on YouTube simply by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. No guests in the studio this morning, so we're going to have an open line for you as long as we can. We again invite you to call in, express your concerns, offer solutions to problems that we may be facing in the Cayman Islands, and basically just share any bits of information that you feel that may be relevant and you want to share with our listeners out there. We certainly look forward to that as well. Meanwhile, First thing I will do this morning is share with you the latest COVID-19 update that was issued, and that was issued on Friday, the 7th of January, 2022. And the Chief Medical Officer Interim, Dr. Attila Newton, reported 432 new cases of COVID-19, 29 in travelers, and 403 from the community on Friday, the 7th of January, 2022. Public Health reported 1,007 PCR tests were conducted since the last report on Thursday, the 6th of January, of which 301 were positive, 131 positive lateral flow tests were also reported during this period. There have been 89 confirmed cases of the Omicron variant in the Cayman Islands to date. Meanwhile, the number of probable Omicron cases reached 1,073 on Friday, the 7th of January. The number of reported active cases stood at 3,470, with 3,221 of those being linked to community transmissions. The percentage of the Cayman Islands population who are reported COVID positive currently stands at 4.88%. The total number, so that's almost 5% of the population, pretty close to 5% of the population. The total number of cases recorded in the Cayman Islands since the start of the pandemic stood at 10,618 at the same time. In addition, 4 COVID-19 patients were hospitalized in the Cayman Islands as of midnight on Friday, the 7th of January. There was 1 new admission during this period. There were 33 new cases found in the sister islands. To date, there have been 214 total cases recorded in the sister islands, with 128 having recovered out of a total number of cases in the sister islands. 132 were fully vaccinated, 7 were partially vaccinated, and 75 were unvaccinated. And again, to date, there have been 58,965 persons, which represents 83% of the estimated population of 71,106 who had at least 1 dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. Meanwhile, 57,403 individuals, representing 80% of the population, had completed the 2-dose course. Additionally, 17,784 persons, representing 25% of the total population, had received a 3rd or booster dose up to that point as well. So again, we see the numbers as up there as far as vaccinations are concerned, and hopefully by now enough persons have been convinced that vaccination at this point in time is being vaccinated is the answer to combating the COVID-19 in the Cayman Islands. And again, we want to continue to encourage those who are able to be vaccinated. Please go and do so. Those of you who are vaccinated but not fully vaccinated, we also encourage you to do the same as well. I want to share with you also, and you may have heard this on our news this morning, but it is worth repeating. This was a press release issued by the Department of Children and Family Services about their implementation of COVID-19 isolation plans. And it reads, since October the 21st, 2021, all of government's residential care facilities operated by the Department of Children and Family Services have conducted a regimen of routine testing for COVID-19 with lateral flow tests approved by Public Health and utilized by the UK. These regimens have been fully supported by the Ministry of Investment, Innovation and Social Development. This week, the ministry was made aware that routine testing at Maple House, a residential home that cares for adults with special needs and or disabilities, revealed positive cases of COVID-19 among residents and staff members. PCR testing was conducted for all staff and residents. In response, and working collaboratively with Public Health and the Ministry, the Department of Children and Family Services has enacted its contingency plans for all individuals testing positive to reside separately in isolation at another location, thereby enabling staff to continue to care for residents during their quarantine period. In line with the scientific and medical understanding of COVID-19 and its variants, the ministry will continue to provide all resources to the Department of Children and Family Services to support its staff and the residents of government's care homes in aiding to prevent mortality and reduce morbidity from the highly contagious disease. So again, we see where the Department of Children and Family Services doing their part, ensuring that their clientele are properly protected and their actions are consistent with their contingency plans as well. And we want to congratulate them for the sterling effort that they are making. And again, we urge everyone to please throw your support behind them as well, and any assistance that you can give, you should do so as well. Okay, trying to provide you with as much information that we have. What else? Public Accounts Committee will be meeting, so that the Standing Public Accounts Committee scheduled a 2-day public hearing on the Office of the Auditor General report in the chambers of the House of Parliament on Wednesday, the 12th, and Thursday, the 13th of January, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So the Public Accounts Committee, Standing Public Accounts Committee, will be meeting on Wednesday, the 12th, and the Thursday, the 13th of January. They are asking persons to note that at least one witness is scheduled to give evidence via Zoom. However, the first day's proceedings will not be live streamed due to a conflict with another event, but will be videotaped and subsequently posted on the government YouTube channel. Since these are public hearings, they can be attended by media in person for coverage. The second day's proceedings are scheduled to be live streamed as usual on government's YouTube and Facebook channels as well. So those dates again: Wednesday the 12th, Thursday the 13th of January, from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. the Public Accounts Committee will be meeting. The Standing Public Accounts Committee will be meeting. We do have a caller. Do we want to take the break first, Paul, or take the caller? We're going to take the break. We're going to ask the caller to please hang in there. Quick commercial break. When we return, we will take your call. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Solomon McCherry Ebanks, 1901-1990. McCherry Ebanks grew up in West Bay and went to sea at 16. At the age of 26, he became a navigator and from then was known affectionately as Captain McCherry. During World War II, he risked his life and those of his crew to sail between Cayman and Tampa, bringing food and supplies to his countrymen. Captain McCherry was also a turtler, sailing regularly to the Mosquito Keys. When he retired from sea, he established a store in West Bay and became a farmer, raising cattle and ground provisions. He thus supplied the community with fresh beef, fruits, and vegetable, and the basic necessities of life. He was married to Louise Editha Ebanks, and they had 8 children. He assisted many people in his community, including his nephews, who were orphaned at a young age and raised by Captain McCherry and his wife. He was a man of foresight who saw the need to invest in his island, which he did by purchasing property. During his later years, the sale of some of the property enabled him to maintain an independent livelihood for his wife and himself.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Thank you, Cayman blood donor community. You answered the call at a time most critical, the holiday season. You came, you gave, you saved, you gifted. The National Blood Bank welcomed over 60 pints. Your pint, your gift of value beyond calculation. Thank you, dear blood donor. Thank you, staff of the HSA National Blood Bank. Thank you, nurses, physicians, housekeeping, admin staff, EMTs who worked tirelessly throughout the holidays, saving lives, using your pint, your gift of love to save lives. Thank you, Radio Cayman. Thank you, Health Minister Turner, for sounding the clarion call. A message from Rotary Central Community Service and the Cayman Blood Donor Service. Rotary serves to change lives.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab.
For a full range of medical services, pleasant, clean and comfortable environment, no long lines and affordable fees, visit MedLab at the Smith Road Plaza. Open Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and half day on Saturdays. Call 949-7331 to make your appointment.
For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Ask our professional team about the benefits of cutting-edge technology with MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom-designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the record.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We're going straight to the phone lines as we promised. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning, see how you doing, sir?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you, sir?
Okay, well, this might be the topic that you're talking about.
Well, no particular topic that we have today, so you're okay.
I just want to make it known on the air. The government needs to put something seriously in place about this people wearing masks. It's people walking around, going into the gas stations, going into the power company. They won't wear no mask. No one is enforcing it. I mean, really? It's ridiculous. What they should do is try to put fines. If you don't wear a mask, charge them $100. And I guarantee you then all this kind of stuff.
And those businesses are actually allowing them to come in, and they're providing service to them without a mask, because I know most places, a lot of places that I go to, they require you to have a mask.
Well, let me tell you this, I see it with my own two eyes. To go in a gas station no mask, to go into the power company here in Cayman with no mask on. It is ridiculous.
Oh, wow. And that could be one of the reasons why we're seeing the numbers in Cayman Brac the way that they are. We know before that, Cayman Brac, the sister islands, they were the two places that we could look to and say everything is under control at one time.
Well, at one time, but now it is ridiculous. If I guarantee you, like I tell you, if the government started putting fines on everyone that don't have a mask, even down to the regular company that allows them to come inside, charge them for it too. Stop.
Yeah, people really have to consider what their actions or their inactions will do in terms of affecting others and those that are more vulnerable.
Yes, sir. Correct. And here in the Brac is a lot of elderly people here. But anyway, honestly, something really needs to be done.
Okay.
Here now, it's really getting bad over here now. It really is.
Well, I hope and trust that the authorities are listening, and maybe some more public service announcements encouraging persons to ensure that they wear their masks. And also, of course, as far as businesses are concerned, it is up to the business, the individual business, to require and to enforce it. But they need to be encouraged to do so. They need to realize that they're not only protecting their workers, but they're also protecting all of their clientele as well.
Yes, sir. I mean, because everybody's saying, well, I got a booster. I say that does not stop you from catching this virus. And I need to stop being so ignorant.
Yeah,
that's the problem. It does not stop you from getting the virus.
So true.
But I try to tell them, but I might as well just talk up in the air. It don't make no sense. But I guarantee you, again, like what I say, if they start charging them, it will stop. Now I need money, right?
Yep.
There you go.
You can always use it. Yep. Okay.
Anyway, then you have a good day.
Thank you very much. You have a great day as well. You have a great day also.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So there are two topics that at some point in time during the show this morning I want to mention, and they both may be anathema to some persons in the Cayman Islands. It may be repulsive, or they may disagree with them. One has to do with the lottery. The other one has to do with a story about one of the countries in the Eastern Caribbean and the news that they have just shared as well, having to do with the export of marijuana for medical purposes. And we know that those two topics, especially the medical marijuana one, they've been topical in the Cayman Islands as well. But we do have a caller, so let's grab that caller before we go to our 8 o'clock news. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Connor. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
Very well, thank you, sir. Just chiming in on something you said earlier about dangerous roads of the Cayman Islands. I want to say that there is no dangerous roads in Cayman Islands.
They're not?
No, sir. There is no dangerous roads in Cayman Islands.
The people make the roads dangerous, yeah.
So what would you say if the drivers adapt to the traffic road coding? If they abide by and they're driving according to the road code.
Yeah, if people adhere to those codes, also practice things like defensive driving and everything, then the roads would not be as dangerous.
You're speaking my language.
Yes.
So it's not the road that's dangerous.
Well, I guess it's a matter of semantics. It's a matter of semantics. Roads could be dangerous based on their physical condition. In this case, the roads are dangerous because of the action or inaction of others.
You're speaking my language.
Yeah.
Because if I was someone who didn't have a driver's license and I'm planning to learn to drive, and I hear you say that, then I'd abandon it completely. I wouldn't want to drive. I would leave my house this morning because the roads of the Cayman Islands are dangerous. I wouldn't want to go out there this morning.
But we don't want to lull them into a sense of false security either, because they are dangerous out there.
Because if you learn to drive and if you put into practice what you've learned about driving, all will be well.
But the other and it would be even better if the other drivers were doing the same thing that you were doing.
Correct.
Why do you think? Look at the skies. You know how many airplanes are in the air at any point in time? Of course, they're also aided by air traffic controllers and everything that help to direct them. But what if the pilots, all of the pilots up there and the air traffic controllers and everyone else were just doing what they wanted to do and not adhering to certain rules, regulations, and protocols? It would be mayhem in the air.
I agree with you 100%, sir. That's why when you reach the hospital four-way junction, we use the road code to tell you on page 37 that all vehicles arriving at the four-way junction should come to a complete stop.
Right.
First come, first go.
And okay, and for the benefit, because you seem to be quite knowledgeable about this, for the benefit of our listening audience, when two vehicles, let's say, arrive at the same time, who has the right of way? Which one has the right of way?
Yellow, the one on the right to go first.
Exactly, yeah. Some people don't realize that either, and both of them sit there not knowing what the other one should be doing.
Well, sir, if you read on page 37, that's what it says. I don't have the book in front of me, but I have it in my head. Yeah. But how many people actually, after they have obtained their driver's license, how many people actually go back and refer to that? So we need to help them along the way in the same way that I spoke about air traffic controllers assisting airline pilots. Maybe we need to have more road signs on there. Sometimes some people may argue that road signs may be distracted, but let's say at that four-way stop sign, if there was a sign there saying, who should go first, who has the right of way, that may help, because there are lots of people out there who don't know. And guess what? I have something else to tell you, and I'm going to go quickly. Because would you agree with me that some drivers are driving for a long time? They tend to forget what they've learned. Develop bad practices. They get there, and they say, look left, look right, there's nothing coming, and they're gone.
Yeah.
And say, nothing is coming, so what's the sense in waiting?
A stop sign means stop, irrespective of whether or not anything else is coming. And same for a yield sign. Yield.
And guess what? Not stop 6 feet behind the sign.
Or halfway out in the road.
Correct. We need to know who was first and who was second. And if you're 6 or 10 feet before the sign, then we're not going to know who's first. Because we need to know first come, first go. If you're too far, we ain't going to know who's first.
Yeah. The funny thing is that years ago, our concern had to do with tourists coming on the island and driving on the wrong side of the road and things of that nature. So all of our traffic warnings and everything were more directed towards tourists. But now we find that the locals now are worse than the tourists. Some people may not like me saying that, but it's the truth.
It's the fun that you need to be able to
sell. No, I take it very serious.
Be careful. I remember.
Yeah. Yeah, driving can really be a beautiful thing. You know, you can get out there and enjoy yourself. You can get out there and relax if it is done the proper way.
True, sir.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, thank you very much for adding to that. And anytime you have any comments in relation to traffic issue, please call in and talk about it, because that's something that we need to continue to hammer home to our drivers out there.
I love to share knowledge.
Okay, well, continue to do so. Our phone lines are always open here for you to do that, sir. You take care, have a great day, and stay safe as well.
Yes, sir. You'll be hearing from me again.
Thank you very much. Folks, top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. When we return, the conversation will continue. We'll talk about lotteries. We'll talk about what the charges in Bermuda are saying about lotteries, how it can assist charities, sports, and education as well. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Radio Cayman time check is now 8 a.m. This time check is brought to you by our friends at Foster's.
When you're on the go, the experienced team at Foster's Pharmacy are here to help. Drop off your prescription while you shop or WhatsApp us and we'll prepare it, ready for your arrival.
Whether you need prescription or over-the-counter medications, blood glucose testing, or advice on vitamins and supplements, we're here early in the morning to late at night. Both of our locations at our Camana Bay and airport stores are open 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., Monday to Saturday.
For more info, visit fosters.ky/pharmacy. Foster's Pharmacy. Better health because we care.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Caymanbrac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. A COVID outbreak is reported at government's residential home that cares for adults with special needs and or disabilities. On Friday, the Ministry of Social Development announced that routine LFT testing at Maple House revealed several cases among residents and staff members. This prompted PCR testing. The ministry says in light of the development, the Department of Children and Family Services enacted its contingency plans for all individuals who tested positive to reside separately in isolation at another location. This will enable staff to continue to care for residents during their quarantine period. Cayman sees its second violent stabbing of 2022. Just before 11 p.m. on Saturday, a call came into police that a man had been attacked and needed help at Birch Tree Hill Road near Reverend Blackman Road in West Bay. Once on the scene, emergency responders found a man stabbed several times lying on the ground. He was carried to the hospital where he was treated for serious injuries. As of Sunday, he was in stable condition. This comes after a January 2nd stabbing in Georgetown. A 30-year-old was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder in that incident. And in other news, still a few days left in the Youth Climate Action Challenge. Details from CIG TV's Simon Boxall.
To take part, young environmental activists need only post pictures and videos of any activities that support climate change action in your schools, communities, or at home with your families. Tag on Instagram at CaymanGov or on Facebook, and that's Cayman Islands Gov, and use the hashtags at Climate Action and Save the Planet. There are no limits on submissions. The winner of the challenge will be showcased on national television on CIG TV's Spotlight Show, where they will be able to share their climate action plans.
In regional news, St. Vincent and the Grenadines is now the first member state of the sub-regional grouping of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States to be granted permission to export medicinal cannabis. On Friday, government announced that the island would export its first shipment of medical cannabis to Europe. The announcement follows the recent approval of the first export certificate for medicinal cannabis. The export permission was granted to Caribbean Cannabis Company, trading as Medicinal. The company already has several products marketed locally and has worked with traditional cultivators in building out their supply supply chain. The granting of the permit came after an import certificate was issued by the Federal Institute for Drugs and Medical Devices for the product to legally enter Germany. According to the agriculture minister, the jurisdiction has worked over the last 3 years with international agencies, friendly governments, and local public and private sector stakeholders to make this a reality. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News with Moira Alderson. The Australian Immigration Minister is considering whether to cancel Novak Djokovic's visa. A court ruled earlier that officials hadn't followed the correct procedure when it was annulled on arrival. But the government can revisit the case, which hinges on the Serbian tennis star not being vaccinated against COVID. US and Russian officials are holding talks over the situation in Eastern Europe. Moscow has deployed tens of thousands of troops on the Ukrainian border and has issued a series of demands to NATO and the United States. The West has rejected these as unrealistic. The Kazakh president has described last week's violence as an attempted coup. He said it had been planned by a single centre, which he refused to name, and claimed the aim had been to seize the country's southern regions. A Norwegian company that buys much of Belarus's big export, potash, says it's ending purchases in April. The fertiliser maker, Yara, said sanctions that followed the suppression of opposition protests had made trade impossible. The authorities in the Chinese capital are advising all Beijing residents to stay in the city for the Lunar New Year holiday. The aim is to restrict the spread of COVID. Schools in Uganda have reopened after a coronavirus closure that lasted almost 2 years, but there have been warnings that a third of the children may not return to classes. A court in Myanmar has imprisoned the country's detained leader Aung San Suu Kyi for 4 years for possessing unlicensed walkie-talkies. Other charges brought by the coup leaders could see her jailed for decades. The Supreme Court in India will hear a petition that seeks the arrest and trial of those who advocated anti-Muslim violence at a Hindu religious meeting last month. Former heads of the armed forces have expressed their concern over the meeting. BBC News.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Excuse me, I noticed you from afar.
Really? Me?
Well, not you. The KFC sandwich you're eating?
Oh, Zinger.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be funny.
No, it's called the Zinger Sandwich. Crunchy, juicy, 100% chicken breast, crisp lettuce, sweet mayo on a seeded bun with a little zing. KFC's chicken is not factory breaded, frozen and refried like the Burger Boys. Customize your KFC Zinger and dip it in barbecue sauce.
Wow, now I'm starting to notice you too.
KFC, it's finger licking good.
Let me tell you something. I've been fishing our island since I was a boy, and it's getting harder and harder to get a good catch. Maybe it's because there are so many more people in Cayman than ever before. Maybe it's because of how the climate is changing. I don't know about that, but I do know that I want to be able to keep fishing and teach my children to fish one day as well. So it makes sense to me that we have certain areas and certain times of the year to fish for certain things. This year, a new rule was placed on fishing for grouper that says no one can fish for nass or grouper anywhere in Cayman from December 1st to April 30th while they're spawning. There is also no fishing allowed at all for any kinds of fish in the spawning zones and no scuba diving there either. It feels unfair not to be allowed to fish where my dad had taught me to fish, but I know that being patient now means we can keep fishing for many more generations. We're all in this together, right?
For more info, download the Cayman DOE app or visit DOE.
Guess what? We're back. And we wish you a Happy New Year's from the Flex family.
This week on the Flex, we will be having caring teachers. The word of the week is adulting. ADULTING. It is a noun that means the practice of behaving like a responsible adult, especially the accomplishment of mundane but necessary tasks.
And maybe some other adulting Flex family will pass through.
Hi, how are you? You can join us this Wednesday from 4 to 5 p.m. right here on Radio Cayman, 89.9 FM. YouFlex, a program for all people, by young people. YouFlex, more than talk.
When I look at where I'm coming from, I know I'm blessed, and I close my eyes and smile. Sometimes
The 8:10 a.m. weather report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by Pan American International Insurance Corporation. Pan American International Insurance Corporation, meeting the life, accident, and health insurance needs of individuals and businesses to ensure financial security and peace of mind. For more information, call 949-8304 or visit www.palig.com. That's PALIG.com.
For over 100 years, more than 5.8 million people across the Americas and the Caribbean have placed their trust in Pan American Life Insurance Group. We have delivered on our promise and have proven that we are more than an insurance company. We are family. To learn more about our first-in-class individual and group life, disability and accident solutions, please visit Pan American International Insurance Corporation at Unit 221, Cannon Place East, North Song Road, Grand Cayman, or contact us at 949-8304 and visit us online at www.palig.com. Pan American Life, people you can trust for life.
All right, good morning, Cayman. Let's take a look at your weather courtesy of our friends at Pan American Life Insurance Company. Present temperature is 77 degrees Fahrenheit. It's nice and sunny, but it feels like about 84. Winds are out of the east at 6 miles per hour. Relative humidity 88%. Last night's low dew point was at 73. Barometric pressure at 30.06 and dropping. Light to moderate east to northeasterly winds and slight to moderate seas will continue across the Cayman area for the next 24 hours as a cold front over the Gulf of Mexico approaches the northwest Caribbean. Our forecast for today, partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers. Temperatures will rise to the mid-80s. Winds will be east to northeast at 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Then later tonight, partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers. Temperatures will fall to the mid-70s. Winds will be easterly at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. We're at a high tide. Low tide will be at 11:59 this morning. It's going to be high at 5:05 this afternoon. Low at 11:45 this evening. For tomorrow, high tide will be at 6:53 a.m., low at 1:05 p.m., and high at 6 p.m. Sunset for this evening is at 6:04. Sunrise for Tuesday morning at 7:02. And the outlook is for moderate east to northeast winds and slight to moderate seas from Tuesday morning as the cold front approaching the northwest Caribbean dissipates and the high pressure system behind moves over the eastern United States. That's your latest weather right here at your Radio Cayman.
The 8:10 a.m. weather report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by Pan American International Insurance Corporation. Pan American International Insurance Corporation, meeting the life, accident, and health insurance needs of individuals and businesses to ensure financial security and peace of mind. For more information, call 949-8304 or visit www.palig.com. That's PALIG.com.
For over 100 years, more than 5.8 million people across the Americas and the Caribbean have placed their trust in Pan American Life Insurance Group. We have delivered on our promise and have proven that we're more than just an insurance company, we're family. To learn more about our first-in-class group health and employee benefit solutions, please visit Pan American Life Insurance Company of the Cayman Islands at Unit 221, Cannon Place East, North Sound Road, Grand Cayman, or contact us at 949-8304. You can also visit us online at www.palig.com. Pan American Life, people you can trust for life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Achieving your goals is a very rewarding feeling, but at times can feel very frustrating, especially if and when we miss our target. As you approach your goals in life, set yourself up for success.
When setting your goals, celebrate your progress. It's important to acknowledge progress each step of the way as you achieve your goals. Everything that you do to move in that direction gets you a little closer. Planning small rewards along the way can help to keep things interesting and give us a taste of what sweet success will be like.
Change your thinking and change your life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. OnCourse Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
All right, Cayman, here we go with another traffic report. Compliments of our friends at Subway. Taking a look at the streets in Georgetown, getting very much busy. Shuttered roads, a good bit of activity, similar with Godfrey Nixon Way, some pedestrian movement. Eastern Avenue, similar as well. Edward Street, looking moderately busy. Cardinal Avenue, traffic coming in off of Seafarers Way, North Church Street, South Church Street. Walkers Road, already busy this morning time. Parents getting kids to schools. Should be at school already because school is in session. Looking down from Jose's gas station, got a bit of westward bound traffic coming off of Crew Road. Very slow at the moment, so expect some delays. Looking at down from the King Sports Center, got traffic along the Linford Pearson Highway as well. Moving very slowly, but traffic coming off Shamrock Road moving moderate. Looking at the East-West Arterial Crichton Boulevard, traffic has eased up considerably. Coming into Georgetown, traffic heading to the Eastern Districts, not much traffic to contend with. Looking at the four-way stop in West Bay, good flow of traffic. And looking down from the Ritz-Carlton, got a good bit of traffic heading into the Georgetown area, similar along the Esley-Tibbetts Highway. And getting to the Butterfield roundabout, it's the usual traffic around that vicinity. So expect some delays as you make your way in. Look out for people crossing the streets on bicycles, scooters, motorbikes. Buckle up and stay safe. Your traffic report brought to you by our good friends at Subway.
At Subway, we caramel a lot about our customers, so we decided to give you 2 treats in one with the new Caramel Apple Cookie. Enjoy cinnamon apples, caramel bits, and salted caramel crunch baked in, and topped with a drizzle of caramel-flavored icing. Gooey, crunchy, and yummy. Complete your Subway sandwich, pizza, or salad with the delicious Caramel Apple Cookie or any other cookie flavor and dessert, available for limited time at all Subway locations. Subway, eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
For the Health of It is heard on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. and repeated on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. It is brought to you by Holy Cross Health. Quality medical care and advanced technology with sincere compassion and understanding. Our mission is you. Call 1-954-351-5906. Email global services at holy-cross.com or visit Holy Cross Health at holy-cross.com.
It's okay not to be okay. There's a lot to deal with right now. You may be feeling a bit scared, worried, or anxious. If you're feeling unable to cope or just want to talk to someone, please call the Mental Health Helpline at 1-800-534-6463, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Caring professionals are there to listen. For more information on COVID-19 and managing anxiety, visit www.gov.ky/coronavirus.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the Record with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. No guest in the studio. I'll remind you that our toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. Also 949-8037, 949-6990. Email for the record, one word, for the record at candw.ky. WhatsApp us 925-3261. And we have several WhatsApp messages, and I want to share. This one came in really early this morning, and the person has written saying that we are having a very bad time here in Bordentown. Many of our family members have passed since the beginning of December, and it's still continuing. 2 deaths since yesterday. It is very sad and difficult, very difficult to cope with. The losses, as they are all related. And I just want to pause there for a second and talk about the fact that, while we are in COVID-19 situation and there are protocols that are in place, and we find that face-to-face and person-to-person transactions may not be as common as they were. It is quite obvious that there are persons, families out there who need help, not only financial help, but mental health help as well, having to cope with so many things. And if you know about facilities that offer help, please share that with us here on For the Record as well. We know that there are support groups out there. We know that there are church groups as well, organizations. If you're a religious person and you have a pastor, I'm sure that your pastor would be more than happy to sit with you and counsel you and offer assistance as well. So we need to bear in mind so many persons out there who are dealing with issues, need help. Some persons may be able to let it appear as if they're functioning normally, but deep down they are suffering as well. And we want to extend as much assistance, as much help as we can to those individuals and families as well. Another listener wrote in and offered blessings and a wonderful morning to all of the staff at Radio Cayman. And they're also questioning when will the government do something with lawless persons who break every rule on the road. And they want to know why don't the government start to fine these persons. Talk about fast driving and loud music being played in vehicles as well. And pointing to the fact that government can raise revenue from enforcing these laws as well. And I agree with that writer. Of course, sometimes there's a reluctance to rely on revenue from persons who break the law, and whether or not there's a feeling that they may be entrapped, we may be entrapping them by having these speed cameras and everything else. But if we are to ensure safety on our roads, then if the laws are there, they should be enforced. If they aren't there, then we need to ensure that we have laws in place that will address the lawlessness as well. This other listener wrote and said that they agree with the caller regarding mask wearing, and they also say that they note that in Grand Cayman, people are just some people are just wearing bandanas as well, and we know that there are certain masks that offer more protection than others, and if people have access to those masks, then they should wear them as well. We continue to hear that this virus should plateau at some point in time, and then we should see a decline. We have heard predictions since last year about COVID-19, and we now realize that not enough is known by the scientists and the experts in terms of this pandemic, and we could be in for many more surprises as well. We really, really don't know what's out there. What we have to do at this point in time, we know what works, and we need to ensure that people adhere to those procedures, policies, protocols that work as well. So I'm going to shift gears a little bit, and like I said, some of this may be anathema to some persons based on their personal beliefs, religious beliefs, or otherwise. But I want to share with you, as soon as it comes up on the screen, waiting for it to come up on the screen. Okay, let's go with this one. This one is up there first. St. Vincent gets nod to export medicinal cannabis to Europe. We have heard talk about that here in the Cayman Islands. We know some of the persons who are strong advocates for medical cannabis, and we know that there are some who are in favor of decriminalizing the use of marijuana in the Cayman Islands, or ganja in the Cayman Islands as well. So I'm going to just share this with you. And those who are on either side of the fence may choose to comment on it. But before I do that, we do have a caller, so we always give our callers first preference. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, O.C.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
O.C., I am calling about the Filipinos that goes to Barcas and fills up their bags with garbage, and they left it where they use it. All of them is driving cars. They can take their garbage out and bring it out and put it in a dumpster. Or put it where the garbage can pick it up. I went up there yesterday, and the garbage that I see there is unbelievable.
And I'm not taking sides or anything like that, but do you believe that it is only one nationality that is doing that?
It is them, because I see them there.
Okay.
Already in Ocean.
Okay, question before you go though. Do they still employ the rangers and wardens that they used to have on the beach and stuff like that? Is that program still continuing?
Well, see, I don't know. But then what I'm saying, they can bring the garbage out, put it where garbage pan can pick it up. And I think that the DH should go up there sometimes and check it and pick up all this garbage.
Yeah, maybe there needs to be a little bit more patrolling in that area as well, and just go and put signs up as well.
Oh, well, they got signs up there, no littering, but they're not stopping
That
them.
won't
They
stop,
still
yeah.
They're still using left and right there.
Yep. It is unfortunate that some persons and bring their old habits with them. Unfortunate.
Yeah, you're right.
It is unfortunate.
When I go back, I make sure I pick up all of my garbage and bring that out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't leave it up there, so it looks bad.
Yeah.
You know? All right, Otis, you have a good day.
Okay, thank you very much.
And
You
a
do the
bless-
same as well.
And a blessed new year.
Thank you. Same to you also. And thanks for sharing that information with us.
This is your old friend from West Bay.
Okay, you take care. Be safe. Be safe.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Paul, let's take that commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, K-Man.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom-designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the record.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio. Phone lines are open. I'm going to share with you this article about St. Vincent and the Grenadines getting the nod to export medical cannabis to Europe. This is an article published posted today, the 10th of January, and it says that St. Vincent and the Grenadines is now the first member state of the sub-regional grouping, the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, OECS, to be granted permission for the export of medicinal cannabis. On Friday, the government announced that the island would export its first shipment of medicinal cannabis to Europe. The announcement follows the recent approval of the first export certificate for medicinal cannabis. The export permission was granted to Caribbean Cannabis Company, trading as Medicinal. The company already has several products marketed locally and has worked with traditional cultivators in building out their supply chain. The granting of permission to export came after an import certificate was issued by the Federal Institute for Drugs and Medical Devices for the product to legally enter Germany. So this German entity, the Institute for Drugs and Medical Devices, had to give their approval for it to legally enter Germany. Goes on to say that according to Agriculture Minister in St. Vincent, Saboto Cesar, the jurisdiction has worked over the last 3 years with international agencies, friendly governments, and local public and private sector stakeholders to make this a reality. It's quoted as saying, St. Vincent and the Grenadines is ready for global business in the medicinal wellness industry, space. We invite the world to participate. St. Vincent and the Grenadines has opened a significant global opportunity for collaboration amongst member states of the OECS wishing to participate in the international medical cannabis industry. This is a quote by the Agriculture Minister in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Goes on to say, therefore invite all member states of the OECS with the established medicinal cannabis policy framework to join forces for the sustainable development of what can become a world competitive sub-regional medicinal wellness ecosystem. The government has also announced that it was also working to establish a diversified medicinal wellness platform which will include traditional medicines and the emerging psychedelic doctor-assisted treatment initiative as well. So, St. Vincent and the Grenadines moving forward, inviting all other members of the OECS to get involved in this project as well. We know that there's a movement here in the Cayman Islands, even though it may be small at this point in times in terms of their influence. Whether or not they will get additional support is another matter, but we continue to hear talk about the Cayman Islands and the fact that, we can't move forward as far as a right to self-determination, ultimately resulting in independence because we have no industries, we have no natural resources. And again, what I will say is that even countries with natural resources are going to find some natural resources. They're going to find that the value of those natural resources will probably decline as world demand declines as well. For example, the fossil fuel industry. We see more and more emphasis being placed on moving away from fossil fuels. That means at some point in time, those countries with oil resources will be severely impacted, by that. So my point is that those persons who buttress their argument about politics, the right to self-determination being inherently linked to having natural resources, when those natural resources are no longer as important as they think that they are, what will their arguments be then? Okay, let's switch gears because we're Cayman Islands. We have our tourism industry. We see what COVID-19 has done to that, not only here in the Cayman Islands, but worldwide as well. We see global warming, what that is doing, what that's doing to our ecosystem, what's happening, coral bleaching, and all of those things. So our ability to feed and support our populace is going to be more and more challenging as we go along. So we have heard about talk about lotteries in the Cayman Islands. We know that there's a lottery that takes place, or several lotteries that take place in the Cayman Islands. We know that they are extremely sophisticated. They don't have to rely on everything is done electronically. When the number plays, you know it right away. You know where to go to buy your numbers. And believe you me, there is a market out there. People are doing it. People are surviving off it. And you know what? The government is getting zilch from it. Absolutely nothing. Zero. As a matter of fact, if anything, it is probably costing the government, because there are occasions when you see stories about someone being robbed, their purse being taken. There are many times when we really don't know what the genesis of that is. But unfortunately, the robbers out there, the crooks, know who the bagmen and the bagwomen are, those who are carrying the monies from lotteries. They then target them and commit the crimes that the police, Royal Cayman Islands Police Service, then has to go and investigate because of that. If it were legalized, there is a possibility that robbers may be as bold as to try to rob, an establishment. But at least we would know where those establishments are, and we would have the ability to protect them as well. So the downside at this point in time in Cayman, as far as illegal lottery is concerned, is that the government gets nothing, but the government still bears the responsibility to protect businesses and individuals out there as well. At the same time, we hear people talk about raffles that take place. Civic organizations that conduct raffles and say, you can win this, you can win that. Stores do it, Christmas time. You conduct a sale, a purchase in a store, and they say, okay, fill your name out here, put it in the box. We're going to have a drawing later on. Some people say that's gambling too. So here's what's happening in Bermuda. And what they've said there, they've said that lotteries could help boost charities, sports, and education. And that was a statement that was made by the chief of the Bermuda Gaming Commission. What's interesting about Bermuda is that they have had their gaming commission since the 1940s. But like I said, a lot has to do with her upbringing, with her background, and we know the position as far as legal gambling in the Cayman Islands is concerned. We know that illegal gambling has been taking place for years and years and years. So I'm going to share this article with you. After we take the caller, we'll go to a commercial break. And when we return, I will share this other article with you. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Sir O.C.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, and congratulations to you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I must say that I owe it to the Cayman people for giving me opportunities to do things, to help people.
Yes.
To improve myself. I think this MBE is for the people of the Cayman Islands. Perhaps the first one I got perhaps was for me and this now, because people have given me an opportunity to do things that to help them and to help Cayman. But that is not exactly what I called about. You have an interesting topic today which I favor, and that is the gambling. I don't gamble in the Cayman Islands because they say that you shouldn't. But I want to put something out to you here. I favor the government talking to the people about options to raise money. And gambling is one of them. Not gambling, but the other thing there, what we do.
Lottery?
The lottery. If we go back to the history of England, how they introduced the lottery, they did not introduce it as gambling. They said, all we need is for you to help us to help the social landscape in our country. and it would cost £1 a pound or so.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't talk about gambling. They talked about helping the people. But because of how it went, it had to be registered by the gambling association or whatever they have there. So it is gambling, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But it helps education, it helps the social development in the country, and it helps us to help the people. Like, for example, a situation that we have now with COVID, that the government has to continually give to people that don't have any work or have lost their businesses. And I know a lot of people now are losing their businesses. But I do support, and a lot of people may think ill will of me, but it's too bad. I do support the government looking into it to see that if it's feasible, because you are right that there's a lot of money that come up from this, and people are, and I'm not saying that a lot of things wouldn't happen, you wouldn't still rob people, but there'll be more accountability.
Yes.
But I want to say this in ending, to say that we encourage the flesh trade, FLESH trade. You know what that is?
Yes.
But we never say anything about it that is bad. But we encourage it. We know what people are doing in a lot of these things. But we don't say anything about it. But yet we turn our nose about the lottery. I really think that someone should come up to ask the people of the Cayman Islands if they would want it. Ask them. And I'm not a betting woman, but I would bet they would say yes.
I believe. I agree with you.
I believe so, O.C. I do not know how my government is going to sustain themselves off ad valorem duties. How in a situation like this, when people are not buying much, and offer property tax and that sort of not property tax, but getting money off of selling a piece of property. We have to find new ways. And is it a sin? I don't know maybe it's an obvious sin. But then we must ask the people, we must go out, and if I were you, O.C., I would keep at it, because my country needs to have an alternative way of making money to sustain what we're doing today.
And those persons who are not in favor of it, no one would, they wouldn't be forced in any way to participate. And of course, at the same time, if they were to benefit from it, they don't have to take the money either.
I mean, look at all the countries in the world that you and I have traveled. I mean, this is. You don't have to do it. You don't have to gamble, but it is a way of raising money to help the vulnerable.
Yeah. And especially if you're allowing it to take place illegally anyway.
Exactly. I think that is just a bigger sin.
Yeah.
Turning your head to it. And we are not enforcing our laws to make sure we get them, because the people too realize. I think people realize. I mean, it's not everybody's a crook. It's not everybody who kills somebody, and let us ask what I am interested in, that we ask the people if they want it.
Yeah, yes.
And stop running around the place saying, oh, it is not Christian. We do a lot of things that are not Christian in this country. And I mean, I'm bold enough to say that, and I'm old enough to say that. But let us ask the people. I didn't realize that I would be in favor of it the age I am. But as I see the money that my government have to give out, I wonder in the long run where they're going to get the money.
Yeah.
Thank you, Topher, and I ask you to keep asking people about it.
Thank you.
Let's talk about it.
I will. I certainly will.
Okay, thanks.
Take care. Have a great day. Please stay safe as well. Folks, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, I will share this article with you, so please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab. Blood test, x-ray and mammogram, all of that is MedLab. Affordable fees and friendly service, a full professional team. MedLab is always comfortable, MedLab is always clean. For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Call 949-7331 and ask about MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
Guess what? We're back. And we wish you a Happy New Year's from the Flex family.
This week on the Flex, we will be having caring teachers. The word of the week is adulting. ADULTING. It is a noun that means the practice of behaving like a responsible adult, especially the accomplishment of mundane but necessary tasks.
And maybe some other adulting Flex family will pass through.
Hi, how are you? You can join us this Wednesday from 4 to 5 p.m. right here on Radio Cayman, 89.9 FM. YouFlex, a program for all people, by young people. YouFlex, more than talk.
When I look at where I'm coming from, I know I'm blessed, and I close my eyes and smile. Sometimes
For the record with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record, and I'm going to break my promise where I said I was going to share that article with you because we do have a caller, and of course we give our callers priority. So caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, O.C., and a blessed New Year to you and your family.
Good morning, and the same to you, and it is great to hear your voice.
Thank you. And the same goes for Radio Cayman and our staff. I don't know what I would do during daily working and listening to them and talking into the radio this well, you should say. This. Anyway, I so agree with Miss Lucille and your last caller, and congratulations to her. And I also want to congratulate Mrs. Nicola Connolly, McCoy, sorry.
Yes.
She was a Connolly. McCoy on her appointment and her award as well. So, and I, like I said, I agree. But the strange thing about it, and we know that this is true. Some churches are against it. I go to church. I was brought up in church. And as soon as, and I know the Lions would have the same complaint, as soon as Rotary Central do their music extravaganza, they get letters from people, congregations, and some of them, they say they're Christians. This one needs a house stop. This one needs a leak fix. This one needs on and on and on. So why are they against it? But then, again, they go to church, and then when come out of church, Shirlene, you know, Peter got in him, but it was a lot of ridiculous slap. So it's that they're against it, you know. They don't want to make people know. And Rotary has helped. Rotary Club Central, I'm speaking about, has helped many people that are church-going people that profess, and the church is not really helping them or what they need to have done, especially, well, all over the island, but especially down here in West Bay. So why are they against it? If they would make this legal, it could go for so many things. And by the way, Rotary Club Central does help government. So they should make it legal. it's not a every day thing, or it could be just once a month, or whatever the plans. But like, I agree with Miss Lucille that we should go to the people about it, and I'm sure 98% would agree.
Yeah. Before you go, earlier I was speaking, and I actually read a message that I received from someone in Bordentown talking about their losses in their family and the stress of it and everything. Your church, does it offer counseling to its parishioners, those who are grieving and going through traumatic situations? Does your church have the ability to offer counseling?
John Gray, Reverend Dr. Yvette Bloomfield. She is a counselor, excellent counselor, excellent pastor, a real good pastor, a real good lady. Reverend Yvette Bloomfield. Now, they can call John Gray at 949-1379, I think it is, 78 or 79. If they don't get through on 78, try 79. And the secretary out there can tell you, if she's on the island or where she does her counseling. It is somewhere in Georgetown, and they counsel for free.
Okay.
It's not a charge.
And you don't have to be a congregant of the that church?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir, OC. No, sir.
Okay. Well, that's good to know, and I hope and I trust that those persons who are listening, if they have an interest, that they would follow up on that. You don't want to suffer by yourself. It is always good to...
You really shouldn't.
Yeah, to speak with a professional, those persons who are trained to deal with those situations. Caller, I want to thank you very much for that. Please stay safe and continue to keep in touch with us.
Oh, yes, certainly will.
Okay.
I look forward to it every day. Radio Cayman, the best.
Take care now.
Good morning. Take care.
Okay, we're going to try to grab another caller before we go to our headline news at 9 o'clock. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning, OC. How you doing, brother?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
Good, man. I'm sitting by the bell, just looking out to see.
Look like you may have to move to St. Vincent.
No, double but call tell me something, OC. Well, I'd like to congratulate Miss Lucille. I remember that too, and her where she got there. But tell me something now. All of this time that Miss Lucille was in the politics, and why just now, when they retired, did they bring up these things?
Well,
Lucille had brought that up 10, 15 years ago. A lot of it would be here.
Well, she obviously has had a change of heart, because she did say that she didn't think that, at her age, that she would be in favor of it. But, circumstances have changed.
Okay, I can understand that. But now, see, tell me something now. Now, I know that but I read a lot, and I've been reading about all the states, how much billion they're paying into the tax from the marijuana. Now, right now, the fastest growing economy in the world is marijuana, medical, recreational, and it's green. It is a green, renewable. It's green. You can't get no green and that is growing, right? But why it is? I can ask this question now, and I can answer it too. But why it is that our politicians is afraid of this? That could be another pillar of our economy. It could put thousands of Caymanians that don't have a job now. You got people that trim in. Because listen, this thing is a labor thing. Machines can't trim it and fix it up, It has to be done manually.
It's labor intensive.
Look at a trimmer in the United States get anywhere from $20 to $30 per hour, because you're handling a precious product, and all the women, the young people I see walking down the road in Kimambra, those people could be working in a nice building with dignity instead of along the road chopping bush for the government. They could be making a lot more money. But why it is that our people, our leaders, but you see what happened? Our leaders know that we the people that vote them and we are cowards and we forget too quick. You know? We live on promises. But I got to tell you something now. Miss Lucy said about the lottery, if they put that to referendum. Well, I asked the government about it before. Put it to referendum. But we don't want no decriminalization. Like I ran for and I maintain. I want full legalization to grow it, recreational, medicinal, and to be able to export it if we so wish. Because I don't know what part of the world that we're not living in. But it's something wrong with our little way of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what it is, look up, this is in the Bible, you know. The herb in the seed is for the use of man. This is not a lot, it's nothing but lot in the Bible and gambling and number in the Bible, you know. But herb is in the Bible, it is in there. And listen to me, I didn't write the Bible. I seldom read it, but I know why read I can understand because I have a dictionary and I had a study Bible. So I want feel to find out why it is that the politician is afraid that they're going to get elected. But you see what happened? At the Ganja, people have stood up and didn't vote for now. Then I would say something else.
Mm-hmm. Call. I don't know if you want to hang on. I have to go to the news, but that's going to be very short if you want to hang on or if you're finished. Which one?
No, I finished. I want somebody to call and talk about it.
All right. Take care.
Thank you, brother.
All the best. Top of the hour, headline news. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Radio Cayman.
The voice.
The heart. The soul of the Cayman Islands.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman.
Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
Government reported 432 cases of COVID-19 on Friday, with 33 of those in the Sister Islands. There have been 89 confirmed cases of the Omicron variant in the Cayman Islands. Meanwhile, the number of probable cases have reached 1,073. Tennis star Novak Djokovic has won a court battle that overturns the cancellation of his Australian visa. His lawyers argued the cancellation was, quote, unreasonable, and the judge agreed. A car with tinted windows earlier left his lawyer's offices, but the tennis player is yet to make any public appearances. Australia's immigration minister still has powers to recancel the visa and deport the tennis player. The government insists that Djokovic's recent COVID infection does not exempt him from vaccine requirements. The unvaccinated world number one was dramatically denied entry at Melbourne Airport last week. The Australian Open begins January 17th, and if Djokovic wins, he will become the most successful men's player in history. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. In response to the issue of counseling, and again, this goes back directly to the message that we received earlier in the show about persons who are losing family members, and not only one, but two family members. One of our listeners has written in to remind us. It says, please remind the public that the mental health helpline is available and willing to assist. We are not just a listening ear, but a great resource and able to direct towards more intensive support depending on what the issues are and what help is needed. So, again, the mental health helpline is available, and they are willing to assist. They are not just a listening ear, but they're also a great resource, and they are able to direct towards more intensive support depending on what the issues are and what help is needed as well. And that person is listening. I believe that they have sent me an image with the, yes, helpline number. So if you're feeling anxious, call 1-800-534-6463 or 1-800-534-MIND, which is the same as 6463. So 1-800-534-6463 as well. Say it's during times of crisis, you may find your mood and feelings being affected. You may feel low, worried, or have problems sleeping. Do you know that it is okay to not be okay, and that caring professionals are here for you? So, and also there, you can Google www.gov.ky/coronavirus, as well, for that. They're Monday through Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. That you can call those numbers as well. I'm going to repeat it one more time. 1-800-534-6463 or MIND, MIND. We do have a caller. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, also Billy Simaba here. How are you today?
Morning, Billy. I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Is it cold up? Is it cold up north?
Well, it is cool up here, but I think this year it hasn't been as cold as sometimes it is. So you have to be grateful, in terms of just comparing how bad it could have been. But otherwise, it's cool. It's hovering around zero. So now, also, I've been listening to the calls, and by the way, may I extend my congratulations also to Miss Lucille for her award.
Yes.
There was an absolutely gorgeous picture of her on Facebook I saw somewhere as well. So that was great to see. And of course, congratulations to all the other recipients.
Mm-hmm.
Now, about the issue of gambling, it's very, very interesting, and I think it's appropriate that it is being considered now. You see, this issue, as you know, OC, it raises similar issues to, for example, the marijuana issue, and to some degree also the same-sex issues,
mm-hmm.
because you are really saying, and I think you've touched on this point, you're saying, look, if gambling is already taking place, and people are doing it to a point where it is semi-even open, it is time then you have to examine it and say, would the society be better off if you took it out of the shadows
mm-hmm.
and had it regulated? And one of my earliest issues, like exposure to this kind of thinking, was many, many years ago in my early 20s. I traveled to the Netherlands, to the International Court of Justice as part of a study group. And then while we were there, this is in 1979.
Okay.
And while we were there, I didn't know about that then. They had this red light district,
mm-hmm,
which
mm-hmm.
existed. I'll keep it circumspect because this is a day show, family show. We were told about that, and the background to it was basically that the Netherlands king, like early last century, really a long time ago, decided, look, the sex trade is taking place. People are being killed. They are not very healthy. It's mixed up with drugs, and some of the sex workers were being financially exploited.
Yes.
And he decided, before a lot of people, even thought of it, said, no, bring them out of the shadows. establish a district which will be regulated. And it was found, finally, the society accepted it, and a lot of those vices I have mentioned were brought under control, and a lot of other places also followed suit. And I think every society has to, with respect to every problem, be able to look at that and say, is the society better off by bringing these things out of the shadows? And I think with gambling, that's, I think probably Cayman has got to a point where it has to also seriously consider it. Now, a lot of people who are against it, and me coming from a Christian background as well, I mean, you know, I had a problem for a long time even buying a lottery ticket, not gambling, a lottery ticket, because that was considered to be gambling.
Yes.
It was a waste of time. You are better off giving it as an offering in church where you know what it's going to do, rather than in some societies where divorce goes up, gambling addiction goes up, and it becomes mixed up with drugs. All those vices have to be considered. But I think, as Mr. Seal was saying, what you do at the end of the day, speak to the people, see where the society is.
Yes.
And once you see where the society is, because again, you can't be overly moral. You can't keep saying, well, we can't do this because I believe it's wrong. No, you have to see where is the pulse of the society. And if you think the society has moved, then what you do is then allow it and then just try to control it rather than keep it in the shadows. That's my little 2 cents on the matter. But it's an important issue. But it's good that you're promoting discussion on this so that people can chime in and express their views.
Now, Billy, we have heard so many things that people talk about that we want to have a referendum on it. I believe that there are enough issues of import today that the government could initiate a referendum on several issues at the same time if they really want to get the pulse of the people. It need not be a binding referendum. It could be an advisory one that tells the government, what give them a feel of the pulse of the people and help them to make decisions in terms of moving forward, the way forward.
Yes, that's very interesting. Actually, only last night I was having a discussion, long discussion with a friend of mine from Cayman around marijuana and other issues. And this issue of having probably concurrent referenda on different issues, to avoid having to do one after the other, which could be more expensive. If you identify, for example, there's the gambling, there's certainly the marijuana, which Orrin Merrin and Prentice and all those guys are trying to promote. You put them together, have them defined, let the government initiate that. And you see in Cayman, this is easy to do because it's a small jurisdiction. You don't have to put billions of dollars in order for you to have a referendum. And I think those issues, including the gambling one, yes, they are very important, and it would be good to have some referenda on it and so on. Now, I know a lot of people knock the churches, because, you see, having been brought up in a Christian background, I was always told that, you see, when certain things got legalized, we used to say, oh, but now this is what Matthew 24 was talking about. This is the end of the world. You're going to see immorality and so on and so forth. But I've mellowed out as much as I believe in God still, but I've mellowed out that in society where not everybody has the same beliefs, you have to try and find ways to reconcile the various conflicting and competing interests and then move on. We will never agree. There's a friend of mine from Australia, a fellow drafter, when he came to Cayman for a little while, and we were having a chat, and we were talking then, the Constitution was being discussed. And he said, look, in Australia we have a Constitution, but we do not have the fundamental human rights chapter. And we wouldn't even try now to have a fundamental human rights chapter because we would never agree, because so it is one of those which just emphasizes that in society it is very difficult for people to agree, but once a challenge comes, don't keep pushing it under. Bring it out, see where the people are, and see if you can find some compromise.
Exactly. Yep.
Well, thanks very much,
Billy. Thank you very much for that. Stay safe and keep in touch.
Bye-bye.
Okay. We have 2 callers on hold, but we have to take a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab.
For a full range of medical services, pleasant, clean and comfortable environment, no long lines and affordable fees, visit MedLab at the Smith Road Plaza. Open Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and half day on Saturdays. Call 949-7331 to make your appointment.
For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Ask our professional team about the benefits of cutting-edge technology with MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
Let me tell you something. I've been fishing our island since I was a boy, and it's getting harder and harder to get a good catch. Maybe it's because there are so many more people in Cayman than ever before. Maybe it's because of how the climate is changing. I don't know about that, but I do know that I want to be able to keep fishing and teach my children to fish one day as well. So it makes sense to me that we have certain areas and certain times of the year to fish for certain things. This year, a new rule was placed on fishing for grouper that says no one can fish for nass or grouper anywhere in Cayman from December 1st to April 30th while they're spawning. There is also no fishing allowed at all for any kinds of fish in the spawning zones and no scuba diving there either. It feels unfair not to be allowed to fish where my dad had taught me to fish, but I know that being patient now means we can keep fishing for many more generations. We're all in this together, right?
For more info, download the Cayman DOE app or visit doe.ky.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We have callers in hold, so we're going straight to the phone lines. First caller, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Connor.
Good morning. How are you?
I am very grateful. Thank you. And I trust you had a good weekend.
Thank you very much.
Yes. And at first, I'd like to offer my condolences to the family in Bordentown that's had, several losses in recent times. And I just wanted to, someone mentioned Dr. Yvette Bloomfield, and I just wanted to say that I would endorse that 100%. She is a wonderful person and certainly a person of God.
Yes.
And I've had my personal experience with her when I was going through difficulties, and she was there for me, and I appreciate that very much. And I can say to anyone, you don't even have to be the same denomination as her. If you call her, she'll come to you if she is able to.
Good.
And because she also has her personal challenges, but she's always there for whomever needs her. And so if anyone, the families, whomever, need that kind of counseling and support and strength and prayer, she would be the person I would recommend.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for that.
Okay.
That's it?
Yeah.
Nothing else?
Well, unless you want me to say something else.
Oh, well, I'm going to prompt you very quickly, even though we do have a caller behind you. Barbados, elections coming up on the 19th, 9 days from today, general elections in Barbados being held some 18 months before they're actually constitutionally due. Government is being criticized to a certain extent. Why would they call a poll while they're going through a pandemic? And any views on that?
Well, I'm not in favor of calling early elections, but perhaps they are doing what we say, striking the iron while it's hot. And as far as being in a pandemic, let us remember that in 2020, the U.S. did their elections during a pandemic, and they had their biggest turnout in history. So as long as they're doing it safely, I don't see anything wrong with it.
Okay. Thanks very much for that. I thought that's one of the topics that I want to hit on this morning if I get the opportunity. If not, then possibly Wednesday, and hopefully I'll have Dr. Macfield here with me to talk about that as well. Thank you very much. Please stay safe and keep in touch.
Thank you.
Let's grab the next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Rambo speaking.
Hey, Rambo. Morning. How are you doing? Happy New Year to you too. Thanks.
Hands straight, man. Straight. Mr. OC, me 2 minutes. I mean, usually, frankly, we're seeing now. The first time I called, I called Gustav when Oscar on in give a routine as a middle one, right? in 2014. By now, the former co-host and the acting minister of tourism now, they were on. I came in left field swinging, right? I mentioned legalizing marijuana, gambling, and a brothel or a whorehouse, right? Yeah, right. And what about now? The cowards, right? Who are dodging the topic, going to corner. It's a myriad topic, right? And it's a taboo. That's reality, right? A brothel is an occupation. You understand? So, who wants the deception of going on the corner? And the lawyer called him a while ago, the lawyer, the one who is calling for Canada.
Billy?
Red Light District, right? They in Holland, Netherlands, they in London, they in Atlanta, right? You understand? But he's a wise man. But by seeing him, we'll see a bunch of me now. Come and slim and call him back with a bar on the thing, right? That's a petty topic, Mr. O.C. That should have passed long time, right? In the Leeward Islands, Antilles, they freaked up 1/7, 1/8 of the world, they freaked out with Mr. O.C. But Cayman now, they be some dodge, slow down, some quicksand or something. You understand? Yep. And Mr. O.C., I appreciate when you get the premier back on the talk show, the premier and the opposition. Do it for me, please.
Yeah, we will.
Right? The contrary, right? Vice versa. But do that for me if you can. Appreciate it, sir.
They will be back on. They will be back on. Just giving everyone an opportunity to get settled in after the holidays and everything else. But they will definitely be on.
Mr. Take care, man.
All right, Rambo. You take care too. Stay safe as well. Okay. Any more callers on hold, Paul? No callers? Okay. So let's go to this now. This is in the Royal Gazette, and today's Royal Gazette. Lotteries could help boost charities, sports, and education, and that is the Bermuda Gaming Commission chief has said. And the article says gambling watchdogs are in talks with the government about whether to allow increased use of lotteries. So they already have lotteries in there, but the talk now is whether or not they should be allow increased use. It says Jean Major, the chief executive of the Bermuda Gaming Commission, said the organization had been approached by several charities and groups who wanted to see a change in the law. So this approach now is coming from charities and other groups as well. Mr. Major added that at present only a very small number of lotteries were held on the island, and the discussions with the government centered on whether to alter the 1944 Lotteries Act to loosen restrictions. So Bermuda has had a Lotteries Act since 1944. He said allowing charities and other philanthropic organizations to run their own lotteries could benefit areas such as sport. The Major added there could be significant advantages from the public policy perspective for charitable and beneficial organizations. This could benefit areas like education, athletics, and the arts. Mr. Major emphasized, this is 100% in the hands of the government. The Commission does not have a mandate. A change in the law would permit lotteries by certain designated groups and sectors. Mr. Major said the watchdog had not discussed a national lottery with the government. He explained, we have not been asked to look into that. The Minister for Youth, Ernest Speed, Minister for Youth, Culture and Sports, said in November that the government was considering the idea of a national lottery. He said the cash raised could be used to boost the government's national sports strategy. The strategy designed to help others to emulate Philadelphia's historic Olympic gold success through greater investment in elite young athletes was unveiled by the government as part of the throne speech delivered by the governor on behalf of the Progressive Labour Party administration last year. And for those of you who are not, if you're not familiar with it, Flora Duffy was the first Bermudan to achieve gold medal status. And so that is why she is mentioned there. But you see here where they're talking about certain organizations being allowed to run lotteries. We know in the Caribbean, and talking to Paul off air, before, Jamaica, what do you say? The lottery is up to $200 and something million at this point in time. 235 million. And there's a company called Supreme Ventures that run lotteries throughout the Caribbean as well. So if we decided to do something here in the Cayman Islands, we do not necessarily have to reinvent the wheel. There are entities out there who are already well versed and know how to operate lotteries, and you simply just engage them to do that for you. We have two callers on hold. Let's grab the callers. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Mr. Ossie.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Just fine. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you, sir. Same to you. All the best.
Very happy New Year.
Yes.
You. I just quickly say with the Barbados thing, before I get to the other things, that is politics. It's real brilliant politics for a lady who is very popular at the moment, and she's riding on that popularity, and it is the right political thing to do while you're maintaining that political popularity advantage. Every politician has to be a politician all times, or it's no good you getting involved in politics if you're not going to look at it that way.
That's true.
Yeah, you cannot. It's a cold, hard fact of politics. It's a brilliant move to call early elections. You can. What you've got to realize, the others are kind of unprepared. They're trying to get their most popular persons in place and so forth, so on. That's how it's done. It's all Mr. Biden with the movement there. Brilliant political strategy. Franklin Roosevelt did the same thing in 1936 by sort of turning one side of the people against the other and so forth. Anyhow, that is politics. Brutal as it may seem, it is. The thing about the gambling, that is always been here. It's always been amongst every society. And England has bookmaking shops on every corner of every city, and so does Jamaica. They've long had that because they have the horse racing in Jamaica for a long time, yes. long, many years, going in 100 years now. And the same thing with England, even longer, and the United States. But the United States doesn't rely on bookmaking shops, anything like that. That's Lord. But this is how it is. And the football, the soccer, if you want to put it in the right terminology to get it in perspective, then that depends heavily on gambling. It is big time, but it's legal gambling.
Yeah. And it's online now too, so you can do it from any jurisdiction, whether or not it's legal in that jurisdiction. You can access.
But in Jamaica, for instance, the football pools was always legal there from about 80 years ago. It was always legal. You had bookmaking shops selling the pools there, football pools. And all that may have been other islands too. Just that Jamaica has much larger population, so more scope for money. There's gambling involved in the raffles. It is gambling. Please let us stop burying our heads and our faces in the sand. It's gambling, plain and straight. Raffling is gambling. A raffle ticket, gambling. And there's more. Buying an insurance policy, you're gambling. It's the same form of mathematics used in pari-mutuel gambling and insurance. I used to be a student of mathematics many years ago, pure applied and advanced math and all that 60 years ago, so I've forgotten most of it. But I do know that's what they do. Mathematics, permutations, combinations, and probability mathematics, that's what's used in insurance.
Yep.
We, as long as the government can find the right way to tax it, that they make some money, that is my look at it. They must be able to make money out of it. It can be done. I suggested this many years ago.
Well, what they do, for instance, in New York, off-track betting, when they legalized it there to take the betting, the gambling away from organized crime, they basically put, I think in the early stages, it was a 5% of your winnings went to the government. So if you were to license establishments to sell lotteries or whatever, they would have to keep records of those persons who won. They would have to withhold a certain percentage, and the government would, just the same way that they collect the room taxes from hotels and stuff like that. Only thing is that they would have to be more efficient at doing it.
And the ticket sales can be taxed also.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It can be taxed.
Yep.
With the lottery, that's how they do it there. Yep. With their tax the ticket sales.
Yep.
But on horse racing, dog track racing, it's done that way. They tax it. And the persons have to report it on their income tax also. That's where income tax comes in.
Mm-hmm.
But you can use it as salesmen as a means of allaying some claims and so forth. But it can be done, and we've got to face these facts.
Mm-hmm.
These things will have to come up. You know, I've always said, and I know that was meant for me about the independence issue. You have to have some other form of very stable and reliable system of resources and working. And I've always suggested small manufacturing because I believe in that, manufacturing and so forth. You must have that to provide some excise tax.
Mm-hmm.
I have always believed in that. But for the independence thing, always is long past because we are no longer united people at all. In no way, shape, or form are we united, and we have lost our courage. So that would be a move that I wouldn't recommend at all. But no, we must stay with Her Majesty. The thing with the ganja, the marijuana, what we've got to understand, we'd have to work out a way of taxing that also and regulating it and controlling it, just like he said, the man from Cayman Brack, that it's green, so is the green tea, is growing the whiskey and the oats and the barley and the corn and the rum, the cane is very, very green, beautiful.
Yep.
But it's taxed, it's controlled, and it's taxed properly. Same thing with the marijuana. What my fear is of growing it, who are going to guard those marijuana fields with the low pay that security guards are getting? Who are going to guard them? Trust me, there will be those who will try to rob marijuana fields. So all that has to come into play. I don't know about that part of it, growing it or whatever, but maybe legalizing it or growing it for export, I would consider something else. That was me, my opinion, just my opinion. But we have to think of the dangers of getting into certain things. But I think that they could decriminalize it, that people could go, adults could go like in a liquor store or something and purchase some amounts of it and so forth. And that's easy to control and easy to tax that way. But we have to be very careful with everything.
Certainly. Caller?
Again, referendum on everything. We already have a referendum for 19 people. They have to be able to make choices without 23,000 people getting involved at all times, because we're ununited. You get 23,000 different requests. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you as well, and please stay safe. We have to take a commercial break. We still have a few callers queued up there. We will take those callers as soon as we return, so please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay.
No one can stop me when I
Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
Hi, I'm remodeling our bathroom. I have a few questions.
Sure.
What are some ideas to make my bathroom feel larger? How do I know if I'm picking the right vanity? How do I choose a new toilet or a new countertop? Also, the lighting is terrible. Can I put a window or a skylight? And do I really need an exhaust fan?
You've come to the right place. At Brand Source, we custom design kitchen and baths, and our talented design team can help answer your questions. Whether you're looking for a modern, functional family bathroom or a luxurious personal retreat, we'll help create that beautiful space that makes your home yours. And if you're in a rush for a new look and have a limited budget, our ready-to-install bathroom vanities, built with solid wood and countertops of the finest materials, are a quick and easy remodeling solution.
For the very best in custom-designed kitchens and baths, visit Brand Source Home Gallery on Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, Cayman's Kitchen and Bath Center.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. Straight to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning, caller. Welcome to For the Record. No one there, Paul? Good morning, caller. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC.
Hey, good morning, good morning. How are you? Happy New Year to you. All the best.
Happy New Year to you. Prime Minister Motley is exercising her wisdom as far as she can forecast within her constitutional ambit to call an early election.
Yes.
She's probably looking at the challenges that maybe that their public health is forecasting in terms of ramping up in what could be a little more danger in there, and considering it more expedient to have this early election and to get on with very critical matters such as housing, which she is unveiling in a huge way, and diversifying her economy. So she is doing what she considers wise, and I can assure you so far, so good.
Yeah.
On the matter of our national lottery, I think we're missing out on the opportunity to diversify our economy, which is insignificant. We are in the intersection of development and also in decision making to make sure our economy works for us in the distant future. We do have a very vibrant gambling community underneath the blankets.
Yes.
And because of the current technological platform globally, there is nothing to stop our natives and those who are here from participating. And as such, it would be foolhardy for us to miss out on a revenue opportunity that would be significant in its return to both government coffers and directly, as in other jurisdictions, and as Bermuda is now examining, as being requested by their charities to assist them in revenue streams that would be consistent, would be policeable.
Yes.
So I do think that we have a platform for a national lottery here, because if, from what I'm hearing, for a number of years, just the local population that participates in the Honduran Jamaican lottery, and also the Belizean one, and then also when we have Super Bowl in the Cayman Islands, the degree of gambling that goes on and the atmospheric sums that exchange hands is beyond belief.
Yes.
So, and this transcends every demographic, including some in the faith community. So I can assure you, we do have revenue stream that we can properly enable, and we are going to need our revenue stream to be diversified because we are facing challenges. We are doing the best we can, but we know that we're going to have to do better. And there is an expectation from the mother country regarding our economic responsibility. And as you say, we can be self-assured in making sure that we take care of ourselves and their means and methods. Regarding medical marijuana, it would be foolhardy for us not to value the fact that medical marijuana is a part of the plethora of tools being used to address medical issues.
Yes.
Somebody pays for it and somebody grows it. And we in the Caribbean, who have been significantly at the forefront of belief in its medicinal value from a cultural point of view, it is wrong that we should be so left in the back of the bus.
Yes.
After we have been the ones to have placed it on the international and global platform in the first place. We are self-injuring ourselves by excluding ourselves from a community that we have to benefit from. In fact, we're going to find out that there's going to be a diversification of medical instruments coming from the marijuana plant, which started in Jamaica with a drug called Canosol, which is designed around the eyes. And that was years ago. Now we need to move from penalty to reward. And we can structure it to enable that our local community who have been part of the culture, they can now come into mainstream and work within a regulatory framework, and our government can significantly derive a benefit from it, and which will be beneficial to all. Thank you very much for hearing me.
Before you go, I know that you're an avid reader, and I'm going to share two things with you. On the Barbados issue, there's an article. It's on a site called Pure Politics, and it says what's really behind Mia's snap election. It is written by a gentleman by the name of Rudon Eversley. He worked briefly here in the Cayman Islands on a project in the Cabinet Office when I was Cabinet Secretary. He has written an interesting article last week, and he forwarded it to me, raising the question, what's really behind Mia's snap election? Also, there was an article in one of the Guyanese newspapers, and this one is extremely important, and I'll tell you why. It talks about examining the secret surveillance of Jagan and Burnham during the 1953 visit to Britain. As you know, the archives, there's certain classified information that is released after a given period of time because it doesn't have any impact on so much on national politics or national decisions, because most of the actors have passed on since then, right? So there's some research that is being done, and documents that are now being revealed in terms of so much surveillance that they were under in the UK. But not only that, but also about a lot of the covert activities that the UK prior to independence in Guyana. And I share this simply to say we still do not know the truth about the Euro bank situation in the Cayman Islands, nor do we know the truth about tempura. And my question is whether or not we are able to access those records in the UK now, because we need to know. The people in the Cayman Islands, sometimes we are too docile. We just take things for granted. We need to know the truth in terms of what went on in both of those instances, because it costs not only cost the Cayman Islands a lot of money, but it also points to the fragility of our own existence vis-a-vis the UK as well. So if you get an opportunity, check those out as well.
Most certainly. Thank you for your guidance there.
Okay.
And I thank you for the record program. It is an indispensable tool in our continuing education. Thank you for the Open University you provide.
Thank you very much. Have a great day. Please stay safe as well. Paul, let's take that last commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We're going straight to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Hello, Mom. This is Rob again.
Good morning again, Rambo. Go right ahead.
And you mentioned the fishing expedition, the Operation Topura.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The former Judge Charles Anderson, he dropped out, right? You get $2 million, right? So Fernand gets a couple million, right? And that was under the rug, right? The laundry. You understand, right?
Yep.
So, the resource of money. So, but I know came on the week out for the coffee. When I got early on to OC, some coffee break booming.
Yes.
Boom, boom, boom. You understand, sir?
Yep.
I know, but do a favor, which was here money again. Get the government law vision. I know you're here, but get them on.
Oh yeah, they will be on. We'll get them on.
All right, take care, man.
All right, you take care too as well. So, folks, again, I'm going to repeat this because I think this is extremely important. That we point out to you the fact that those of you who may be suffering quietly in terms of the pressures that you may be under, either due to COVID or other issues as well, or even due to passing of a loved one or family member or even a friend, that the mental health helpline is available and willing to assist. They are not just a listening ear, but a great resource, and they're able to direct towards more intensive support depending on what the issues are and what help is actually needed. And again, the helpline, the number 1-800-534-6463. Give them a call. You will have a listening ear there, and they will then be able to further direct you in terms of how that assistance can be rendered as well. Do not suffer alone. Do not suffer in silence. Talk to someone. We know that in the Caribbean, especially amongst the male gender, we have a tendency to say, we're strong. We don't need any help. We don't need any advice. We don't need any counseling. We can handle it. It isn't always necessarily that way. And please do not hesitate to seek help when you find yourself in those very, very dark situations as well. Okay, anyone on hold, Paul? One caller. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Here to you.
Thank you. Same to you.
I am calling about the Spot Cemetery. I spoke a few days to Sterling on the issue. Now, there is a problem with the entrance to that cemetery, and I'm not sure who is in charge, but we definitely have to have something done about that entrance. I was saying if it's anything that they could close off the main entrance from the main road and open a gate through the parking. I don't think it's a big problem, and I would like to know who is in charge, because we definitely have to have something done this year, and it's not like the middle of the year. We need it done ASAP. The thing is, if you're walking and putting flowers or going to maintain up your graves, you have to walk. The distance between the walk is like 12 inches from the white line to the fence. And you know, when people are big, they have to walk sideways. So we are asking whoever is in charge. I mean, there's a lot of people that have loved ones there, and it's a problem walking the road to put flowers and maintain their graves. And we're not going to stop till we get an answer, and we want a gate from the parking lot. It's been too long, and it's a hazard, and it's very dangerous off the main road, getting into the gate there. And if you're riding your bike, you will understand and see the distance between that little gate and the main road.
Right.
You're passing, the cars are passing you like jet skis, and they're like, I mean, it's an accident going to happen, and before it happens, we need to have something done.
And that cemetery, it is not a private cemetery. It's publicly maintained?
I think it is, and I'm not sure who is in charge of it. But the thing is, if it's government or who,
I think if government is in charge, it would be Parks and Recreation. I believe that may have the responsibility for that. But I'll try to find out, and also try to find out whether or not it is private or public.
Well, if it's private, we need to know, and if it's public, we need to know, because it is a really bad thing for people to walk there.
Yes.
And it's very dangerous. It's right on the main. On the main. And I mean, when you're having funerals, people have to walk, and the cars are just flying by like jets. And the thing is, you know, it's not really nice for people to walk there to visit their loved ones or maintain up their graves, but we need to be walking comfortable, and we need to know that we're safe.
Okay.
So I'm just appealing to anyone. If not, the people that have loved ones there are going to go down there, and we're going to have some action. But if it's owned by government, we definitely need to get something done.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll check it out and follow up on it as well. Thank you very much for that information. Okay. Paul, any more callers on hold? No callers? Okay. We only have about 10 minutes left. Here's another issue that we are facing here in the Cayman Islands, and it's a worldwide issue as well. And we've heard callers talk about retirement in the Cayman Islands. And this, I'll share this with you. This is a study that was done in Barbados as well, and the study revealed that Barbadians are not prepared for retirement. And why aren't they prepared for retirement? It says that Barbadians, and like, while this study was done in Barbados, this could be applicable to many jurisdictions. It says that Barbadians are underprepared for retirement, and this suggests insufficient financial knowledge amongst the young and the old. The Central Bank of Barbados economist Lisa Brathwaite Phillips revealed this in a new study examining the link between financial knowledge and retirement planning. The researcher observed that while knowledge of basic financial products and concepts were reasonably observed, many individuals surveyed lacked the understanding of more sophisticated concepts and products. She therefore concluded, following the online survey of 170 respondents, that financial knowledge was found to have a positive impact on the level of retirement planning in Barbados. And we know people have talked about it, retirement planning here in the Cayman Islands. We have seen people being allowed, and some may say for good reasons, some may say for bad reasons, being able to dip into their retirement accounts and withdraw money, because the argument is that why have the money there when you may not even reach retirement because of the pressures that you're undergoing at this point in time. So we have seen changes take place in the Cayman Islands, but you still need to be knowledgeable about finances and everything else. Let's take our last caller for the morning. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, O.C. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
I am great. The last caller just called about the cemetery. I was just looking at that yesterday,
Oh, wow.
Just looking at it yesterday, saying, that I think that they should move the entrance and put it to the side now instead of out in the front on the main road.
Mm-hmm.
I know that years ago they never had the property where the park now. The government bought that when I say recently, a few years ago. So
did they purchase that? But I thought that
yes,
part of it, and then part of it, the landowner is allowing them to use it. The expanded part of it.
I think they bought it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I say just like I said, just yesterday I was looking at it. Say they should try to move that entrance because even for the hearse parking, it's a hazard.
Mm-hmm.
And I do believe that is the cemetery is the property of the government.
Okay.
I think it is. But in any event, they should close that front entrance and put the side one in.
Okay. And I don't think that should take a whole lot of planning or effort to change that around.
No, it shouldn't. Not at all.
Because the side that you're talking about, where the driveway is there, that is now what, part concrete and part metal fence, is it, or what is it?
I don't know if it's a metal fence there.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's concrete wall that was put there, and actually around all the government owned cemeteries, they're concrete walls, so that's what even make me believe more that it does belong to government rather than you would say private owned or family owned cemetery.
Now I know in your previous iteration, your previous life, you would have been able to access information, from Lands and Survey. Can I leave that with you to check to see whether or not
Parks and Recreation, I'm supposed to have it on there.
Right, because we need not know the block and parcel number to be able to determine that. We know where the location is.
I can find out the block and parcel and
Okay, if I could ask you to do that, and
sure.
maybe on Wednesday or Friday you can let us know. Meanwhile, I'll try to see what I can find out as well, because it is something of public interest, not only public interest but public safety as well. Because like the caller said, having to enter from the roadside there, and we know that's a 40 mile an hour speed zone, but who drives at 40 miles an hour? It's usually 45, 50 miles an hour in that area.
If you're lucky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Well, take care. Have a great week. I'll chat with you some more in the week.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. You too. Please stay safe. Please stay safe.
You too.
As well. One of my listeners wanted to know more information about this article on the secret surveillance that was conducted against Cheda Jagan and Forbes Burnham, two political leaders. Actually, they were compatriots in Guyana, and in 1953 their visit to the UK, how they were watched, and even the article talks about the fact that their mail was opened and everything. This has all now been revealed in research that has been done. Now, if you access www.staybrokenews.com, and it is in Sunday's newspaper, But I will forward this because I believe I have the individual's email address. But if not, please send me your email address and I will forward that article to you. It is extremely, extremely important. And like I pointed out, I'm curious to know what has happened in the Cayman Islands during my lifetime or even before. I have no way of knowing it after they put me in a box and put me 6 feet under, if we were still burying people 6 feet under when I'm gone. And I don't know when that'll be. That could be at any point in time. I could, expire before I finish this show this morning. So who knows? But I would like to know what occurred in the Cayman Islands. We have heard about issues that Teacher McPhail had, Mr. Gilbert McLean, Mr. Roy Borden, not to mention Dr. Steve McPhail, who wrote to the UN and the UN Decolonization Committee to register his complaints and to ask for assistance. How much the actions of our local administrators here in the Cayman Islands, how much of that was directed or guided by the UK to say all of these persons who are talking about black power and bringing in books that the UK and our government deemed to be undesirable or ban certain books. How much do we know may have occurred, with them? We heard about the burning down of the old government house. We hear stories about who may have and why that may have happened. Are some of these things in the archives in the UK? Are they accessible to us now because of the length of time? This may be good research for some scholar, someone who's doing a PhD or even a master's degree to conduct research and prepare a thesis on the activities of the UK government in the Cayman Islands against residents and nationals of the Cayman Islands as well. Something very interesting. Folks, I'm talking to myself and not looking up at the clock and didn't realize that it is 10 o'clock. So I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and by extension For the Record into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. I also want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to Worthy Charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So I say to you, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join Sterling Dwayne Ebanks at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands in the year of the Caymanian.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. MedLab in Smith Road Plaza, your complete medical laboratory solution. Call 949-7331. West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health. And